Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day, and we're back! Everybody is flu-free. I'm not sick. Lexi's not sick. Tim didn't get sick because we were nice enough to not come in and kill him. So
I don't deserve it.
he doesn't, but we were still nice to him anyway. So, New Comic Book Day for the week of February 1st, and we're going to get started right now.
Alright, so let's talk about what trades and other cool hardcovers and things came out this week. We've got a new Avatar: The Last Airbender, North and South Part 2. I don't know if that's new or not, but hey, we got it. Captain Marvel Volume 2. This is the Civil War stuff. We have Detective Comics, first volume of that. Paul loves it, so it's got to be good.
He's good.
He's good. We got Scooby Apocalypse, if you want to check out the ghost huntery Scooby story.
He's no good.
just come in and buy it, please. Sheriff of Babylon. We got a bunch of these. Volume 2. This is a really good book by Tom King, who is currently writing Batman. We have the second trade of Robin, Son of Batman. Maybe you like that. Some people did, some people didn't, but that's the second one. The new Image Plus with Part 10, I believe. Yes, of Here's Negan. Negan's origin story, if you're a Walking Dead fan. And I got this. I thought this was cool. The Wind in the Willows. And it is partially illustrated by the David Peterson, the guy who did Mouse Guard. So if you're like, wow, that looks pretty awesome, that's why. Because that guy's awesome. Anywho, let's get going.
Alright guys, first up, Invincible issue number 132. I know, it's weird for us to have the number so high. Invincible's back! Which is bittersweet because we know now it's going away. So I think this is going. I think they're done with their hiatus, and it's going to be pretty much balls to the wall from now until the end of the series, which I think is 12 issues left. So we got like 1 year of Invincible left, and then it's gone forever, which is sad. But we are picking up pretty hefty into the fight between Mark and the other Viltrumites, and things are not going well, and there's tons of blood, as you can see, because it's Invincible. And if you've been reading Invincible, you know it can tend to be kind of a bloody book. Things go really badly, and I can't spoil too much of it because otherwise Tim will kill me because he hasn't read it yet. But it's definitely good. It's definitely great. I was impressed with how it went through because a couple of the issues haven't really been as action-packed as they normally are, and this one definitely starts this last run off with a bang. So, definitely pick this one up.
Hey guys, it's Lexi Lux here, and I'm going to be doing a comic review on Darth Maul. This is issue number 1. It's part of a 5-issue series, and this is the first time that I've read these comics. I really like it. I think it's really good. It's a good start. Darth Maul kills some people die. He does Darth Maul things. That's obviously what he does. If you watch Star Wars, you know what I'm talking about. So I would definitely recommend this book, and you should come and get it.
Hey gang, if you don't know how to use the previews, which is this big fancy book here, I'm going to tell you right now. And here's Marvel's, because they're special and they have to have their own. Basically, you can order anything 3 months in advance through this book. Just come on into the comic book store, 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, and talk to me. I'll show you how to do this. It's not that hard, and it's make sure you don't miss anything. You can see what's coming out. What's in the new previews, you ask? Why, if I can get to the page quick enough, I'll tell you all about it. Why, Image Comics, where are you? Let's find it. I'm going to take all the time. I don't care. Look at me not caring taking all this time. I'm going to find it. I'm going to talk about Rock Candy Mountain #1 by Kyle Starks. He has a new #1 ongoing series about hobo fighting. You like hobo fighting? You can order it now. Kyle Starks. So good. Hobos. But yeah. Buy it. Alright guys, for my first book, it's Planetoid Praxis #1. It's an Image comic. Planetoid apparently was a series from Image, a mini-series that was in like 2002, 2013, no, 2012, 2013. That makes way more sense. I didn't read it. Al, did you read it?
I did not read it.
Al did not read it either. I bet it wasn't very good. Because this is kind of bleh. The art's really good. It's Ken Gehring is the man's name. He does all the writing, the arting, and everything in this. And It looks good, but the story's a little bleh. It's about an alien coming down on a planet, being poorly received by the people that live there. It's very apocalyptic. They're struggling to survive, and this guy shows up, and they're like, we ain't having none of it. He has this big helmet on, and they make him remove it, and they're just not having the species he is, and it's just this big race allegory thing. It's terrible. It's really transparent, and you can see where this book's going a mile away. But if you want to see some cool art, buy it.
Alright guys, next up is Champions issue number 5, and man, if this one isn't a rip from the headlines kind of thing, we're dealing with the Champions being, I would assume, somewhere in Texas, and a mosque has just burnt down. Wow. Like, they couldn't have planned that one better if they can, unless Marvel is burning down mosques.
Don't start that rumor.
Let's not start that rumor. Anyway, we're dealing with the Champions, dealing with a corrupt official who is kind of dragging his feet based on the current political climate that's going on, because anybody who's reading Champions realizes that this is a very grounded series that is definitely dealing with a lot of the real world issues that are going on right now. It's still very well written, and it's very well done, even though whether you agree with what's going on in the books or not, these are actually very well done. I quickly have come around on this book. The first issue, I kind of shit on it a little bit, but I've really come around on this series, and obviously the art is always good from Humberto Ramos. So do yourself a favor, pick it up. Don't get too hooked on the Gwenpool thing. She does actually figure prominently into the storyline, and it works. It's not the craziness that is your typical Gwenpool issue, but we'll see how that goes for later.
The second one I'm going to be reviewing to you guys is Vampirella, and this is issue number 0. I didn't know there was such a thing as issue number 0s, but apparently there is. It's like a pre-log kind of thing. And this really reminded me of Queen of the Damned. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but like, you know, when they go down there and they awaken the like queen vampire and all that stuff, that's basically what you're looking at with this. But it was really, really good, and I can't wait to read the next ones because this was quite interesting. I love vampires, so, you know, I would definitely recommend it.
All right, guys. My second book, I cheated. I took the easy way out. I took a book I've already read before. It's True Believers, Wolverine vs. Hulk number 1. It reprints Incredible Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine, and it also has the first couple panels of 182, which just has him kind of like disappearing, like, bye, I'm going up in a helicopter. If you've never read this book, you should get it. It's only $1. It's kind of fun. It's a classic Marvel fight scene. It's a little outdated, it's 70s or whatever, but it's pretty good art. But I have to tell you the story of 182, which is a way better story. It features Crackerjack Jackson, the greatest hobo character. Hobos is the theme. Hobo character ever. So read 182, but also read this. It's only $1. You love spending $1 for something. All the value. So much value. The Wendigos here. They fight in Canada. Right? It's great. But 182 is better.
All right, guys, last up, for those who have been checking out our stuff with any kind of regularity, you know I have been raving about Paper Girls. We reviewed both trades. Go back and watch those trades. I'll leave links up there or either down there, one or the other, so that we can go check out the reviews for Paper Girl trade issue number 1 and the Paper Girls trade issue number 2. This picks up with issue number 11. It is immediately following the second trade. So, now that we're current on it, not a lot happens. We're trying to figure out where they are in time and trying to figure out what is going on, and we're dealing with some of the revelations that happen there. But not a lot goes on until literally the last page or two when we're introduced to a new character. If you're a fan of the Paper Girl series, you're going to want to read this to figure out what's going on. If you're not a fan of the Paper Girl series, this is not a good issue for you to jump into on because there's not a lot of action, and they don't really explain a lot what's going on because they really kind of depend on you reading the issues before that. So this is not a jump-on issue. definitely go back and read the trades though, because the series is worth reading. But yeah, so if you're already caught up on Paper Girls, pick this up. If you're not, don't try to jump in on this series, on this issue, because you are going to be confused.
Alright guys, and the last book I'm going to be reviewing to you is Gwenpool. You know, I love Gwenpool. Ever since the first time that I read this, I was hooked. She's in pink, as always, like me, because we look great in pink because we're girls. And in this one, you know, she's on a mission. I mean, what really can you expect from Gwenpool? She's on a mission, she gets the mission done. It's funny. I mean, what else is there to say, you know? I would buy this. Just buy it. Gwenpool's great. It's funny. Go for it.
Hey guys, I was told I didn't introduce myself, so I'll introduce myself on my final review, because that's what I do. I'm Tim from Capes and Scowls. You should check out Capes and Scowls, because you love Capes and Scowls. Just Google it. All our stuff will pop up. So, Bullseye, number 1. This is a $4.99 cover price, but it has 2 stories in it, so that seems fair. Both stories were pretty good. The first one is the continuing story. I guess the backup story will continue being these smaller stories. If you're like, hey, what happened to Bullseye? I thought he was like paralyzed and dead, and then paralyzed again, and then dead again. They talk about it. They're like, yeah, all that happened, but they don't explain why. He's just like, yeah, I'm back, whatever. Secret Wars, retcon, whatever, Marvel, who cares? But who cares? This is a good book. The backup story is by Marv Wolfman. I like Marv Wolfman. He's pretty good. But basically, both stories is just Bullseye being a complete jerk, senselessly murdering people in some cases, and he's just taking different jobs. It's very interesting. It's basically just how is Bullseye going to kill a bunch of people throughout all of these issues. The end of the first story was really good because he's told not to do some things, so of course he goes and does them. I think you should read this. It was really good. I don't know how many issues it is. I think it's a mini. I think it's like 5 issues, but they're all pretty good. Both stories were good, and that's rare. And Marvel charged you $4.99 and was worth it. That's also rare. So, hey, you should buy this. Buy it. It's good.
Since we weren't here last week, I wanted to finish off this one series that was here last week, Justice League versus Suicide Squad, issue number 6, because we'd done literally all the other issues, and I felt bad about not being able to get to it last week. So, for those who haven't picked it up, this is the end of the series. This is the end, and it's actually picking up what's going to end up becoming what is the Justice League of America. So it's going to tie directly into the new series. How that is, I can't really tell you because that's going to be spoiling it, even though the book's a week old. You still should be picking it up. The series is good. It's the cataclysmic fight between Eclipso and the Suicide Squad versus what's left of the Justice League, because most of them are Eclipso slaves now. And it's kind of an interesting way on how this one gets tied up. And the revelations at the end, without spoiling anything, are kind of major. And there's some people who are just really paints Amanda in a terrible light. And anybody who knows the series probably doesn't like her anyway because she's already a terrible person. This doesn't do anything to help her out. But it's a good ending to the series, and it does help with the majority of the stuff. The last page bothered me a lot, but not enough to spoil the entire series or the direction things might be going on. Definitely pick it. And that's all we got this week, guys. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in, and we appreciate the kind of words that we had last week when we weren't there. Definitely appreciate the fact that you guys like seeing us week in and week out. So we will see you guys next week. Next week we will start with an all-new giveaway and go on from there. Thanks again to all of our Patreon fans, those that have helped out. We will be listing all of you guys later, but definitely thanks you to Dave and Ross being our higher tier Patreons. We want to give you guys a personal shout out. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next week.